Hey, how's it going? This is Patrick Sheridan from Fit for an Autopsy, and you are watching The Age of Metal.
Hey everybody, this is Stephanie here with The Age of Metal. I'm here right now with Pat Sheridan of Fit for an Autopsy. So how are you doing?
Doing pretty good.
Awesome. And you're at this beautiful Vietnamese restaurant. So you ordered your food. You haven't gotten it yet?
Yeah, I ordered. Absolutely.
Oh, all right. Well, hopefully the food will be good.
Sure.
All right. But overall, how's this tour been so far?
Things have been good. Everybody on the tour is awesome, super professional. Chimaira kills it every night, and shows have been good, turnouts have been good, so no real complaints. New friends, old friends, typical stuff. So.
Yeah, and you were just recently at NAMM. How did that go this year?
NAMM is always awesome. Get to see tons of good people, tons of good players, lots of good shows, hang out with the companies that help us out on the road, and lots of new products. Like Ibanez had a lot of new stuff this year. Seymour Duncan always has a lot of new stuff. So, got to see our guys from Labella and a bunch of other companies. So it was definitely awesome. Cool, very cool time this year. Yeah.
And I know you were talking about Ibanez in particular earlier. What is it that Ibanez does for you?
Ibanez is the company that endorses us for guitars. They take great care of us, make awesome products, and just kind of help us out when we're on the road and, give us what we need to do our job. Really cool. Yep.
And a few months ago, you released Hellbound, and I think that's your best release yet. Do you agree?
Yeah. I mean, you always hope that your next release is going to be your best release, but we're really happy with the record. The production on it's great. Will Putney knocks them out of the park every time, and having him in the band is really good. It's cool to put out a record that's getting a little bit of, recognition, especially outside of our genre. Our last record did really well within the genre, and, bigger bands and bands that maybe aren't our typical bands to tour with, so to speak, are paying attention and interested in taking us on tour. So it's definitely doing cool stuff, and it's just nice to have it appreciated.
Yeah, you mentioned that your music is getting recognized outside of the genre. Who has been listening to it? Or
to nail down exactly who was saying what is impossible, but we're getting reviews from a lot of different websites and magazines and stuff like that. People who maybe wouldn't normally give a band in the deathcore or death metal genre such a positive review. The genre that we're in gets slammed a lot. A lot of people say, "Oh, it's boring. It's easy to play. It's simple music." But we try to step everything up and do everything as best we can. So we're getting a little bit of exposure through companies that we didn't expect. A lot of support and a lot of great reviews. Even musicians that are in the rock world and stuff like that came up to me at NAMM and told me that they're impressed with the record and think it's good. So it's just cool to get a little bit of respect outside our genre. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I definitely feel that Hellbound is heavier than your previous release. Do you think that each record after Hellbound is going to get even heavier?
Well, I hope so. I mean, I would like to model my career after a band like Pantera or something like that, because, if you listen to Pantera, each record got heavier and heavier. If you look all the way back at the beginning of their collection, it was, hair metal-y kind of stuff, and then Cowboys came out, and that was ridiculous, and then, Vulgar came out, and that was even heavier, and then Far Beyond, and they just kept getting heavier. So, we got reasons to be angry and write heavy music, so that's what I hope for, of course, yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I was actually going to wear a Pantera shirt today. I kind of wish I wore it because we were talking about Pantera. They're one of my favorite bands, but anyway. What song do you think off of Hellbound represents you best as a guitarist?
That's tough. They're all kind of a little bit different. What I like to play live, I really like Bud Dwyer. Thank you, Bud Dwyer, because it's really intense and it doesn't really stop. There's a couple of really good solos on the album that I like a lot. There's a solo in the song "The Travelers" that's just really fast and real in and out, kind of hard hitting that I like. And then we released that song "Still We Destroy." That's a fun song. So I kind of like them all for different reasons.
And I was reading an interview that Will did, and then he was saying that on stage you guys don't do synchronized movements. You don't write any repetitive riffs and all that stuff. Do you feel that extra effort to really how do I put this? The extra effort to really make your performance and your songwriting really unique? Do you think that allows you to stand out as a band?
I think the most important thing is to be natural. I think anytime you fake anything in any kind of a setting, you people are going to see it. You know what I mean? People are going to know it. You know, if you're not doing what comes natural, if it's not that thing, like maybe some people think, oh, it's great, blah, blah, blah. But when it comes down to it, people are going to know that it's not real. You get more of an effect being who you are. So if you're a guitar player that writes good rock and roll music, you should be doing that and not being in like I don't know, a country band, because it's not going to be natural. It's going to be forced. So anytime you have people that are like practicing their stage moves or like, you know, working on an overall look, it's not real. Like when I go see a metal band, like jeans and t-shirts and bang your head through the floor and, you know, yell as loud as you can and just make it intense and play your music the best you can. And I don't have time to worry about that. You know what I mean? So when we get on stage, if we're banging our head in unison, it's just because that's what feels good at that time. You know what I mean? I don't really fall into that whole, no, we got to have stage moves, jump on the, you know, an ego riser at the same time and then jump off at this, like spin in a circle, like, yeah, and it's just not for me. It's not us. You know, we're old, angry men for the most part, and you know, we got a couple of young guys, but you know, it's just, we want real. So that's what we shoot for.
And I know that as far as your lyrical concepts are concerned, I know they revolve around a lot of the, I guess, the issues with humanity and other topics that you guys individually are mean a lot to you. Do you feel that music is a good medium to get your message out?
You know, it's funny because I'm actually writing an article on that right now. About like irresponsibility in lyrics and the things that we do and don't do. And I think that if you're angry and you have a reason to be angry, you should be writing about that. Now, while I love the fantasy world that we live in as far as like, you know, metal goes and how people like, you know, devils and demons and stuff like that and like horror movie lyrics, I think that stuff's great. But for me, the product that I want to see my band put out, I want it to have a little bit more substance to it, talk about social issues and things that are more tangible, you know what I mean, like the good and bad in people and like how people treat each other and, you know, where our government's taking us and like how food companies are poisoning us and things like that, like real issues that show a way more evil side of people than any horror movie lyrics could. So that's kind of where we go with that. You know, we don't want to sound like we're too cool for what other bands do. We love it, enjoy it, listen to it at home, and, you know, we love that stuff. But for us, that's kind of where we want to go. Yeah.
And then I read that you guys are going to be doing some additional spring and summer touring this year. Is there any information that you can give us about that?
I can't really give out too much right now. We actually just landed a really huge tour, and I don't know when I'm going to be allowed to talk about it, but that's going to be from late May through all of June. But we are planning a little Canadian headliner right now, and then that's going to take us from Canada down into upstate New York, and then we'll be filming a live music video, and we're going to do a video for the song Thank You Bud Dwyer, and then the next day we're playing at Metal Fest, and then we have a few dates after that, and then, you know, and then late August, early September, you might see a 3-week headliner from us. So we're very busy.
Yeah, I was about to say, busy as hell. And I know that you guys love it when the kids, you know, mosh and run around and just get very violent during your performance. What will you do to the kids who don't act crazy?
No, nothing. I mean, listen, I mean, if we play in front of 100 people and they go crazy, or if we play in front of 1,000 people and they stand there and stare at us, but they still get impacted by our music, that's awesome. Like, we don't care how you express your like or want to hear and see our music, as long as you're there and kind of taking it in and giving us a chance. You know, we're firm believers in you know, listen to everything and give everything an equal opportunity. Don't listen to people, you know, genres and, oh, this band sounds like this or this sounds like that. Like, just form your own opinion, go see bands play, and, you know, whether or not you got to jump off the stage or, you know, climb over the people in front of you to get to the stage to sing along, or stand in the back and just nod your head a little bit, it doesn't matter, as long as you're there hanging out. We think it's awesome. Yeah, absolutely.
This is the last question. Do you have a message for the fans or anything?
Yeah, thank you so much for picking up the record and helping us get to where we're at. I mean, our numbers are going through the roof and people are paying attention, and we're a super humble band, and we appreciate everything that everybody does for us and all the companies that helped us, and we just really do appreciate all of you guys and every like on Facebook, every record sale. Thank you so much. We're definitely stoked to be here and be doing well, so thanks.
Yeah, everybody, this is Stephanie with the Age of Metal. Like Pat said, they're doing a lot of touring in the spring and the summer, so definitely check out on that. And if you have a Hellbound, or if you haven't listened to Hellbound yet, definitely give that a listen. And thank you for watching, and stay metal.